I don't know if you know the Meghan Markle story. I doubt so.
Tell me about Meghan.
A freelance PR that I was using, she and I had come up with, I wanted to have a Friends of Stowe page on the website. And I wanted these people to be individuals who had a passion and were inspiring people. And she said to me, well, how about Meghan Markle? And I was like, oh, God, I love Suits so much. I'm in the thick of that.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And she had this website called The TIG. And she accepted a tech case. At the time, it would carry a power bank, a cable, fold-away plugs, and whatever your device was.
Yeah.
And Meghan Markle came back and said, yes, I'd love to have one. That was great. She featured it on the TIG. You know, we saw a nice response. Thank you very much. And then it exploded because she was dating Prince Harry. So that was 2017. So
Yeah.
a pivotal moment for the brand. We ran out of stock, over a weekend, and I came in on a Monday morning and we'd sold out. So we went into pre-order. They couldn't wait to get their hands on the orange tech case that Meghan Markle had.
That's so fantastic, isn't it? It's really powerful, some of this marketing.
Let's talk about what we all just heard. Because the moment that story ends, the real conversation begins. You just saw in real time how something as small as a tech case, a simple everyday accessory, became a global phenomenon simply because Meghan Markle owned it. Not because a royal press office pushed it. Not because an institution endorsed it. Not because a PR empire engineered it. It happened because Meghan's influence is organic, real, human, authentic, and unstoppable. What you just watched is the purest example of the Meghan Effect, an impact the royal family didn't create, the British media can't control, and the world still hasn't stopped talking about. And that story is just one moment. One tiny fraction of a much bigger truth. Meghan Markle moves culture. Meghan Markle moves markets. Meghan Markle moves conversations. And she's been doing it long before any royal title was attached to her name. So today we're going to break down what the Meghan Effect truly is, why it started, why it continues, and why the institution and its media partners still fear it to this day. The clip you just saw proves a point the media will never admit. Meghan didn't get influential because she married Harry. Harry was drawn to her because she was already influential. Meghan didn't walk into the royal family as a blank slate. She walked in with a global fan base from Suits, a thriving digital community from the TIG, a reputation for championing women's rights, connections with international charities, a track record of using her platform to uplift others, a modern, relatable personality that resonated with millions. By the time the palace met her, the world already loved her, and they hated that, because they are used to controlling the narrative. They're used to shaping royal women from scratch. They're used to being the reason anyone cares. Meghan flipped that entire formula upside down. She arrived self-made, self-built, self-driven. She wasn't waiting to be chosen by the institution. She had already been chosen by the public. And nothing threatens a traditional system more than a woman who is powerful without it. Meghan's impact exposed something the monarchy had managed to hide for decades. The royal family needs global relevance, but Meghan didn't need the royal family to be globally relevant. That imbalance terrified them. Because think about this, when Meghan wore something, it sold out. When Meghan supported a brand, that brand's life changed. When Meghan spoke, the world listened. When Meghan smiled, the internet moved. When Meghan appeared, people cared. No other royal woman had achieved that kind of visceral influence since Princess Diana. And Meghan's influence was happening in the digital age, multiplied by millions, amplified by social media. The institution saw it, the British press saw it, and both reacted the same way. Control her or destroy her. But here's the twist. Neither worked, because the Meghan effect isn't something you can engineer, and it's not something you can erase. Let's address the elephant in the newsroom. If Meghan truly annoyed the press, if she truly was irrelevant, if she was just another actress. Explain this. Why do headlines about Meghan outperform every other royal? Why do stories about Meghan dominate traffic? Why does Meghan drive more clicks than Kate, Camilla, William and Charles combined? Why is Meghan the centerpiece of every panel discussion? Why do broadcasters bring up her name when the topic isn't even related to her? Because they need her, financially, desperately, completely. The Meghan effect keeps their failing industry alive. They don't hate her. They hate that they need her while pretending they don't. It is the most embarrassing part of this entire saga. Let's get into the receipts that are impossible to spin. 1. Fashion sales that break records. Whenever Meghan wears something, it disappears from shelves globally within hours. Not days, not weeks, hours. 2. Charity movements that skyrocket overnight. A charity Meghan supports doesn't just gain attention, it gains momentum. Donations surge, volunteers show up, worldwide audiences engage. 3. Small businesses transformed. Meghan chooses independent designers more than any other modern public figure. Her support changes careers, families, livelihoods. 4. Tourism booms. The only time the monarchy saw a spike similar to Diana-era tourism was the Meghan-Harry era. That wasn't accidental. It was influence. 5. Digital conversation dominance. Meghan trends without trying. Where others require PR pushes, Meghan requires existence. This is why the British media's envy is so loud. Because Meghan has something they can't recreate. People trust her. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Meghan symbolises a type of power that institutions like the monarchy aren't built to handle. Her influence comes from relatability, modern values, global perspective, diversity, empathy, honesty, digital fluency, work ethic, independent success. The monarchy is built on tradition, distance, inherited hierarchy, controlled messaging, conformity. Meghan was never going to fit because she wasn't meant to shrink. She wasn't designed to dim her light. She wasn't built to act powerless. She wasn't raised to bow for approval from newspapers. She wasn't conditioned to obey outdated protocols. Meghan is the 21st century woman the monarchy could never produce and never deserved. People don't buy what Meghan buys because she's famous. People buy what Meghan buys because they believe in her taste, her values, and her authenticity. People don't follow Meghan because she's royal. They follow her because she's real. People don't admire her because of titles. They admire her because of character. The Meghan effect is not a trend. It's a reflection of who people want to be. Someone who is confident. Someone who is compassionate. Someone who is independent. Someone who is unbothered by outdated rules. Someone who walks away from toxic environments. Someone who builds a life that aligns with their values. Someone who chooses peace over performance. Meghan represents modern womanhood, unfiltered, unbent, unbothered. That's her real power. Years after leaving the monarchy, the Meghan effect hasn't slowed down, it's accelerated. A photo of Meghan, viral. A clip of Meghan speaking, discussed worldwide. A business she casually supports, instant sellout. A charity she engages with, record-breaking donations. A simple outing, hundreds of articles, thousands of comments, millions of eyes. And here's the kicker. Meghan creates more conversation doing nothing than the entire royal family creates doing everything. tell me that isn't power. Here's a bold truth that needs to be said. The Meghan Effect has more longevity than the current monarchy. Why? Because institutions fade. Influence doesn't. Titles expire. Authenticity doesn't. Palace walls crumble. Impact doesn't. The monarchy will someday become a museum. The Meghan Effect will remain a case study, because generations of women will continue to say, "I followed Meghan because she made me feel seen. I changed my life because Meghan gave me courage. I started my business because Meghan inspired me. I walked away from toxicity because Meghan showed me it's allowed." That is legacy. Not jewels, not titles, not protocol. Impact that lasts beyond your lifetime, that is legacy. And Meghan has it in abundance. The clip at the beginning wasn't just a story. It was a metaphor for everything Meghan embodies. Her presence changes things. Her choices ripple outward. Her influence lifts people up. Her authenticity creates loyalty. Her kindness strengthens communities. Her voice inspires courage. The Meghan Effect isn't about a tech case. It's about the power of being yourself, fully, loudly, unapologetically, in a world that expects you to shrink. And Meghan Markle refuses to shrink. That is why they fear her. That is why we celebrate her. And that is why the Meghan Effect will never die.